The last thing I want to do on our request index component is get our button to move off to the right-hand side, as we had shown in the mocks. And I also want to print out the total number of requests down here at the bottom of the screen. So these are both going to be very small changes, so let's get to it right now. Back inside my code editor, I'm going to find my requests index.js file. So here's request index right here. I'll then go down to my render method. So here's the render method. I'm going to find my link tag, and on the button tag itself, I'm going to add some additional styling or some additional props. First off, I'm going to pass on a floated right property. And if we save this, we should see the button pop off to the right-hand side, like that. However, now the button is really mashed up against the table. So I'm going to also pass this thing some additional margin for the bottom so that it gets a little bit of standoff as well. So back on my button, I'll manually add on a style tag with margin bottom of 10. And do remember here that we place two sets of curly braces, one for the JSX and one to indicate a object. So now if we save this, we get a little bit of standoff right here, which looks a lot better. Okay, now the other thing that we need to take care of is getting the total number of requests to print down at the bottom left-hand side. This is going to be really straightforward. We've already got our prop of request count added to our props object from getInitialProps up here at the top. So back down inside of my render method, underneath my table, I'm going to add on a div, and I'll give it the text found this.props.requests.count requests, like so. So now we could go and check this out inside the browser, and oops, looks like I probably made a typo there. So I said request count right here. Let's go check up on the render method one more time. Oh, request count, my mistake, singular. So this should be simply request count. And I think that's the second time I made that mistake. Was not very consistent there. All right, so that looks a lot better. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for this request index page. Now I think maybe there's one or two more things that we need to address inside of our application. So let's continue the next video, and I'm going to mention a couple other things that we might want to add in.